It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae. Well, if you've been watching us all week, and if you haven't, I'll tell you anyway, he's off today. His daughter is having another child, which means baby Avery's joined us here in the world, and he's off attending to family matters here this morning, taking Graham Tate, the other grandchildren, to school, has to pick them up later, do all of that stuff. Well, obviously, mom and dad are doing well there in the hospital here this morning as well. So Dale won't be in today. Be back on Monday to join us as well. But, folks, lots to talk about today here on the program. Of course, NFL schedule released yesterday. Last night I spent a lot of time going through other team schedules because I think the Cardinals got absolutely screwed with this schedule. The NFL went, Michael Bidwell, we hate you. We're going to give you the worst possible schedule. Now, there's some other contenders out there. The Chargers have a tough one as well for them. The Jaguars, extremely tough one. But we'll mainly talk Cardinals here today. And I did my initial thoughts where the schedule came out yesterday. I put it out on Twitter. You want to follow us at TME Sports Show, of course. You can communicate with us there, reach out to us, talk to us. You can also hit us up on the text line, 623-252-6670 on the text line as well. And if you bear with me for just a moment, I'm going to get that loaded up here this morning as I had to do a computer update yesterday. And, of course, none of the stuff comes back up when you do those computer resets and everything, and they shut everything down. But the Cardinals, so I put it out there, and the Cardinals, even TME Media AZ, you want to follow as well. But I just did it, and I just said, hey, Cardinals versus this team. I didn't factor in coaching staffs. I didn't factor in, just basically your initial thoughts on what teams are good, which teams are bad. I ended up at 5-12 on the season, which even I think that might be a little high and optimistic. And I'll go through that for you, kind of tell you my thinking. Then I did a little bit more of a dive into the schedule and looked at a bye week. Who's playing who leading up to it? Travel schedules. How tough are the games back to back? And folks, I'm just telling you, Cardinals, I think we said the Cardinals had the third toughest schedule going into the season. No, it's by far the hardest. If not, maybe the Chargers will have a chance. Maybe the Jaguars will have a chance because Jaguars aren't home very much this year. And speaking of home, I mean that's how the Cardinals got screwed in this deal. So we'll dive into that here in just a few minutes as we set up the show here this morning as well. Of course, D-backs get underway again today. Off day yesterday after that devastating loss there in Texas a couple days ago. Been to Colorado this weekend. Look, this is a series you should win, especially with the pitchers that are on the mound as well. We'll talk about and set up the Diamondbacks weekend for them. NBA updates for you around the playoffs. This Milwaukee story is fascinating to me with Giannis and Doc Rivers running the team, Giannis and his antics out there. It just odes to the way we've talked about a lot here on this program. The NBA, they just let their players get away with everything. And they're willing to pay them hundreds of millions of dollars to get away with everything. It is a fascinating tale of, I guess I'm going to say, of how not to run a business. But we'll talk some NBA stuff out there as well. PGA Championship underway today. That was a brutal games yesterday for them as well. In terms of the PGA Championship, I'll give you some stats out of that. And I'm not sure it's going to get much better this weekend with the wind they're expecting. Rain's supposed to be done, but the wind continues to be a problem there in Philadelphia. West Philadelphia, I think, is where that is at. Of course, NHL, Vegas Knights got the win last night. Eliminated the Ducks in that series, so they got Colorado coming up next. Of course, Montreal, Buffalo. If you didn't have anything to do last night and you did not tune into these hockey games, well, you missed out on a lot of sports fun out there. But I'll get you updated on that coming up as well from that perspective. So I appreciate you joining me here on the Friday. Don't forget, Like, subscribe to the TME Media AZ page for us on YouTube. Follow TME Media AZ on X as well. But on YouTube, follow us. Live stuff coming up, right? And things. I didn't go live on the schedule release last night like I was hoping to. Well, I couldn't remember the password to my home setup system there. So I've got to. I just sat down and was like, oh, this will be easy to throw it on and just do my initial reactions. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. Just not that smart. Nobody was there to help me. So we'll have to work on that and get that up and running. But at least, we did break down the schedule. Obviously, I owe you guys a little bit of an update as well. Let me put it this way. For those of you yesterday, I know Papa Mike was one of them yesterday that said he would not take the bet. I challenged you listeners, and several people reached out. So a few of you DM'd me as well, saying you wouldn't take the bet on my car. Yeah. So I get out of here yesterday. It's a long day yesterday, producing some other shows out there. Kobe producing some other shows that we don't put out. They go out to other entities. Like the John Holmberg Sports Podcast goes out by Hubbard Radio and stuff like that. But we produce all that stuff for him. So we worked on all that. We did all that. Got out of here a little bit late. Wanted to get all my work done. Real Matrix is up for today. Scheduled for noon on Rumble, rumble.com/user/TME Media. If you go to the channels page, it pops right up to the Real Matrix channel there for you as well. But if you go to the main page, today at noon, it'll pop up on the main page. But it will have everything else posted as well and everything. But I digress here on that. Got all that done. I was like, remember yesterday, I was like, I'm going to return the rental car. I got a weekly rate. I'm going to return it. I just went into their app, Enterprises app. That's how I booked it. And easily. And let me change the delivery date and time. So I just scheduled it for yesterday, 3:30, what I scheduled it for. Quick, easy, gave me the new price. Everything quick, easy, just had to go return it. Perfect. So I doubt that my anticipated problems there did not happen. Perfect, fantastic start to the day. Then I get my Uber home, and everything. I have to wait for that. Get my Uber home. I had the funniest driver on the planet. He was great as well for my 15-20 minute ride home. Got right home. Then I go inside and I look at my dog, Lily, and I say, hey, I'll let you out in a few. I'm going to go run a couple errands in my car real quick. I do talk to my dog like it's a human. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't act like you don't if you have a dog, by the way. Don't act like you don't. So I told her, hey, I'll be back in a few, and everything. So then I go out into my car. I told you the night before the yellow thing tripped in my thing. Okay, so I know that's still a problem. It's charged to 73%. I go down to the closest charging station to me that I use from time to time as well. Plug in, do everything, no charge. No charge. The reason I took it into the shop. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's Ethan chimes in. Ethan chimes in and goes, yes, he does talk to the dog. Don't act like you don't. Ethan and everybody else out there as well. By the way, on a side note, in the middle of this story, Ethan's officially done with high school. Now it's graduation next week, but got through all of his finals and everything, so he doesn't have to go back to high school until Wednesday for a practice deal, and then of course Thursday graduation over at ASU's the graduation there at the bank. So Ethan's done with high school officially now, folks. Now I got to fight with them on the other side. Ann says congratulations as well. And I'll get to your other comment here when I get to the Cardinals stuff. But so I go to this first one, plug in, do everything I'm supposed to do, sit there for about a minute, no charge. Won't charge at all. Says the machine's in use, everything's working the way it should be, and everything, boom, done. All right, maybe it's just this one, even though I know it's not. Get on the freeway, drive up to the one I usually go to, the EV Go station. I stop there. Nobody's there. Pull in. Go to the charger that I always use. I prefer it. I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I actually get angry when other people are there in my spot. They have a ton of them there, but I just the one I know. I'm just comfortable with it. So I pull into that spot. I know I have a sickness. Pull into that spot, get out. plug the car in, go to my app, start it, boop, get back inside, charging cord error again. Same error I've been getting. So I do the things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to unplug it, plug it back in, same error. Unplug it. This time, you have to wait like 3 minutes between these, by the way, for everything to reset. Then this time, I started in the app first, and then I plug it in because it says to do that too, and it'll work. Still doesn't work. Deep breath, Steven. Deep breath. Now, keep in mind at this time, it's like 5 p.m., on the day. I've had a long day. It's hot out, etc. I knew it wasn't going to work. Whatever. I'm dealing with it. So now I'm like, crap. Now I got to deal with the dealership again, get it back in, just return the rental car, whatever. So I just pick up the phone and I give a call to the Earnhardt Chevrolet down there because their service department closes at 6. Sorry, 1 second here. I have an emergency. Not a bad emergency. Landscapers are here. That's the emergency. Landscapers are at our studio. They want to know if it'll be too loud if they run the mower and the weed whacker. So anyway, so sorry for that distraction. But so I call Earnhardt Chevy, and I just call it. Didn't even think about it. I just looked up their number. Boom, there. Service picks up. And I go, hey, I had my car in there yesterday. I picked it up, and it's still not working. That's all I say. The guy says, he goes, oh, and he's looking it up. So they have caller ID because he was able to look up my info without me telling him anything. So he goes, which part's not working? And I go, it's still not charging. On the public station, I go, and my charger at home still tripped yellow. And I told him, I had it at 31% yesterday when I got home, or 30% when I got home. It charged to 72, but the yellow thing tripped. It's charging extra slow. It does it. I tested it on 2 other networks with the 240 charger, etc., blah, blah, blah. And the guy says, well, if it's a level 1 charger, that charger's really slow. I'm like, no. It's level 2 chargers. Like I'm like, oh, here we go. Here comes, in my mind, I'm going, here comes the talk down to me that I don't know what charger to use, right? But he was just commenting on it and everything. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, prepare yourself for this conversation. Take a deep breath. So anyway, so he looks everything up and he goes, so what's it doing? And I go, well, the yellow thing tripped at my house again, so it didn't charge to the full 80. It's charging slower, and it tripped and everything. I said, and then more importantly, though, as important, but more importantly, the electric chargers, public charging stations aren't working. I went to three. I told him 3, but I went to 2 different stations. Same problems happening. And he goes, well, he goes, I'm looking at it here, and it says they did 2 software updates, and it said he tested it, and it works. And I go, yeah, about that. I go, when I dropped it off to you, I was at 31% or 32%. When I got in the car, it was at 31%. I go, then nobody looked at my charging unit that you guys gave me when I bought the car because it was in the same spot I left it in the car. Nobody had touched it and everything. So I don't know how they tested it because if you would have tested it, the charge would have gone up because you would have left it charged in for a couple minutes and it would have gone up. And somebody would have looked at my charger that I got. The guy goes, well, we need to get that back in. And I go, absolutely. I need to. I go, here's my problem, though. Is I'm going to need a loaner car now. I go, I rented a car for a week knowing that you guys would probably have it. You guys tell me my car's done. I returned the rental car to obviously save some money, my own personal expense because the car's not working and everything. And like right in the middle of the sentence, the guy goes, we'll get you a car. It's not a problem. And I go, oh, all right, perfect. I go, how long do I have to wait? When do I have to bring it into you? He goes, can you bring it in tomorrow morning? He goes, I got a loaner car for you. Not a problem. Get it back in here tomorrow. And I go, I can't do 7 in the morning. 1, it's Queen Creek. It's 20 minutes out of my way, south. But then 2, I'm obviously here doing McCollum on business. So I go, I tell you what. I go, I get done with work tomorrow early on Fridays, so I'll be there, I'll be there like 1 o'clock, 1:30 or so and everything. And I go, if you have a car available, I go, then I don't have to worry about getting a ride and all that stuff. I go, but I do need a car, blah, blah. He goes, nope, don't worry about it. Just bring it on down. We'll bring it in, take a look at it. I was fretting over nothing yesterday, folks. Super nice people. Now I still got to drop it off and then get told there's no loaner, right? But no, but in all seriousness, super nice people. That Earnhardt Chevrolet's super nice people and everything. They just, and like I said yesterday, it's not every Chevy. I probably would be going through this with every dealership. I will tell you this. When I do the research online with the EV groups, and I'm on a couple of Facebook EV groups for Chevy Blazers and Chevys, everybody says this happens to them when it comes to the electric stuff. It's never fixed right the first time. You have to go back a couple times. Several people say you actually have to. A couple people said they actually have to take them down to like whatever the problem is. They have to drive with them to show them what it's doing, and stuff like that. So anyway, there's the car update for you. Not as I know a lot of you. I know Dale was thinking I'm going to end up in jail yesterday. No, just talk to people like human beings. Doesn't always work out that nice, folks. It doesn't. So you got to give Earnhardt Chevrolet down there in Queen Creek a lot of credit with the way they handled that yesterday and everything. And I just was like beaten down yesterday with the heat and the stress we got going on right now with the graduation. I just my personal stress with the graduation. Other stuff I got going on with the investment company and other things we got going on with family stuff. And it's just like, I was just like a beaten dog yesterday. So it was just nice that they were like, hey, we'll take care of you. Come on down here. And I don't have to spend more money, to deal with it. I don't have to go get my own rental car and things. So anyway, Braxton, I know you were excited to hear the update to the story. Look, I know it's not as exciting as y'all hoped it would be. I know you guys were thinking I'd be yelling and screaming and flipping out, throwing stuff through glass windows. So I apologize for that, for not being that guy. Now, you might hear some issues today if I drive all the way down there to drop it off and they don't have a car for me. That's a long drive home. That's a long ride home. I'll be begging Ethan to come pick me up to take me home and stuff like that and everything since he's home today too. But anyway, there's the car update for you guys. All night long, I was like, I got to spruce this story up because I got everybody like anticipating like bad things happening and everything. I was like, everybody's expecting like all this bad stuff or whatever. And, I mean, it was bad. They didn't fix it. They didn't even look at it. This is what infuriates me. I took it in and I made it clear to the guy. I can handle the recall where my car just slams on the brakes on the middle of the freeway with nobody around me. I can live with that almost, but I need the public charger and I need my home charger system to work with your charger you gave me. I need it to work. I made it clear to them. And they didn't even look at it. They just did updates and didn't even try anything. That's where you get frustrated, right? You could have had it for an extra 30 minutes and plugged it in and did everything. You could have. Now, I'm inconvenienced dealing with it. And they're gonna help me out with it and stuff like that. But it's just infuriating, isn't it? I was prepared to keep that. I had that rental car rented till next Tuesday, anticipating them having my car and working on it for at least a week, if not longer, trying to figure this out. And they gave me false hope. So there you go. Car update story, folks. And for those of you, because I get it all the time, for those of you that go, you wouldn't have this problem with a gas car. Folks, I've had this exact problem with gas cars my whole life. All the way back to my 96 Chevy Camaro I had when I was in college. Because I didn't flunk out my freshman year, so my dad bought it for me. So I paid for it. I had to pay back for it, but we got the 96 Camaro. I remember taking that thing into the shop like 3 or 4 times because they wouldn't fix things properly. So don't tell me I wouldn't have this problem if I had a gas car, because we all know that's bull crap. Anyway, I get so defensive when people say that to me. Papa Mike says, good morning, everyone. I was just on the phone having a Steven moment with the company. They made me late. Hi, Pop Mike. What company? What are we doing? Wait, what do you mean a Steven moment? Where they were just being idiots and you just have to deal with it? My goodness. But there you go. Car update for you guys. Sorry. You know what? Blame Earnhardt. Call Earnhardt Chevrolet today and tell them that they didn't mess me up. They didn't try to mess with me enough. So I'm not all fired up today about them. You guys need to call them and complain that the beginning of the show wasn't as entertaining as you thought it would be because of them. Because of them being so professional and polite about fixing it and everything. You got to blame them for that. I couldn't make it any worse. I couldn't make it any more crazy than I did because of the way it went down. It was nice, easy, smooth, etc. So there you go, folks. We'll see later on, though. I'm going to leave here. I'm just going to drive it directly down to the shop. Not stopping for go, not stopping for food, nothing. I'm just going to drive it straight there. It is ready to go. Pull in. We'll see what happens. Not over yet. Moving forward as well. So, hey, before we take our break here at this first part of the hour, so everybody just have some fun with life. These things happen. It's frustrating. It's annoying. Yelling and screaming isn't going to solve my problem, right? So I got to figure it out from that perspective. But, man, it's just be nice not to have these problems happening right now. I got a lot of other stuff going on. We all have other stuff happening in our lives right now that we do have to deal with as well. Before we get into the NFL schedule, which will be our big topic here today, of course, before NHL, NBA, I got a youth sports thing I saw on Yahoo yesterday that fascinated me a little bit in terms of youth sports for not just those of you with kids, young kids going into youth sports, but also those of us that like sports, right? I'm 49 years old. I got, hopefully, 40 plus more years here on this earth, hopefully, and everything. The kids right now, being born, like Dale's granddaughter, he could be who I'm watching in the WNBA in 20 years, 18 years. So interesting youth sports thing here I saw on Yahoo yesterday. We'll hit on a little bit later on as well, and we'll get you set up for the D-backs. But before we take our break here to start the show and everything and get into the sports side, if you're just joining us, Mr. Hellestrae, his Ecobee, what's that, Papa Mike? Well, Papa, you don't have to type all that, Papa Mike. You don't have to get all into it and everything. But Ecobee is the company, he said. Have you ever heard of them? It sounds like well, I'll keep it quiet there. Kind of like my EV, let's put it that way, type of a company. But of course, he says it's a living company, is what Ethan says there as well. How does Ethan know what Ecobee is? But anyway, I digress. Let me take a deep breath here after that, telling that story. Because now I got all stressed out having to take it down there again today. And I'm going out of my way to go to this Earnhardt Chevrolet, too. I passed 13 Chevy dealers on my way to this place in Queen Creek. It's 20 minutes south of my house. I just chose it. One, I bought the car there because my daughter went to school right around the corner there. Now she doesn't. It's about 5-7 minutes south of where Ethan's graduating from next week, and Ireland goes to school now. So it's in that area, right? So that's why I chose it, as I was able to drop it off. Ethan was able to get out of school, come get me. So I'm going out of my way for this place on top. It just adds more insult to injury, right? When I could hit up a Chapman Chevrolet or some other one as I'm driving through the world and everything. But a PGA update here today. How tough was this course yesterday in Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia? Folks, it was tough. You want to watch golfers struggle like you do? This is apparently the tournament to watch. Only 32 of 156 players in the PGA Championship were under par for round one. 32 of 156. I did not do this before. I'm going to do it right now. 32 into 156. 20%. Is that right? My calculator says 20% of the golfers were under par yesterday. 20%, folks. That's how difficult this course was. Rory was +4 yesterday as well. John Rahm had to come out and apologize for his actions yesterday on the golf course. He hit the ball. I believe it was off the tee. But might have been from the fairway. But I think it was a par 3 course. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. He was off the tee, so it wasn't an approach shot. So he hits the ball, not happy with the hit. Nobody's happy with these greens or anything. Swings the club angrily, a la Sergio at the Masters. But he doesn't have somebody be walking behind him yelling at him. But the divot popped up and hit this spectator. Hits a volunteer inside the ropes right in the face. If you know anything about golf volunteers, they're not spring chickens. Older gentlemen. A big old piece of divot, mud, grass, hits this guy in the face. John Rahm does the nice thing, walks over, kind of side hugs him and talks to him a little bit, makes sure he's all right and things like that. But that's how frustrating of a round it was for these guys yesterday. I saw, I don't remember who it was right now. I was watching it yesterday while I was here getting some other stuff done. And I saw one person literally barely tap the ball on the right side of the green. Barely on the green, barely tapped it. And it rolled all the way across the green, down the other side, and I think it was into a bunker. It was either a bunker or water, but I think it was a bunker. This course is killing these professional golfers out there as well. So, by the way, Rahm, just to give him some credit here, even though he angrily did that, he immediately apologized to the man, as I said, walked over to him, gave him the side hug, talked to him. And then afterwards he said, I couldn't feel any worse. That's why I was there apologizing. I need to somehow track him down and give him a present because that's inexcusable. And for something that could be completely unavoidable, whether it was my intention or not, it was just not good, is what John Rahm said after the round. It's like if you get hit with a golf ball, a lot of times a golfer will sign his glove, an extra glove that he's got in his bag, and hand it to you type of thing. He didn't give anybody anything there as well. So he didn't give him anything. He said he has to track him down. Like he said, a volunteer out there if he's able to go back today. And I saw a couple people on social media say, well, he was hit with a club with dirt. Suck up, man. That's a big clump of dirt, right? And grass flying at your face when you're not expecting it. It wasn't like it was pebbles. It was like a big old chunk of it as well. So, yeah. So, interesting update here on the PGA Championship. I'll get you updated here some more. But 32 of 156 players were under par in round one. Higo, we talked about him yesterday, Mr. Higo. Dale brought him up. He had that two-stroke penalty. He was late to his tee time. So two-stroke penalty, and then you still have to tee off and play. He still golfed with all the struggles out there yesterday. 32 of 156 players were under par for round one. He still shot a 69, which is under par, folks. He was one of them, even with the two-stroke penalty there for Garrick Higo is his first name as well. That's a heck of a round for him. He was supposed to tee off at 7:18 Eastern time. He was 1 minute late to his tee time as well. My favorite comment, I saw his comment afterwards. I should have found this video. I don't know if it's out there. But I did see it yesterday. When the rounds were wrapping up, they went and interviewed him after he was done. And he said, I wouldn't have been late if I knew I was running late. Obviously, this is the first time it's happened. I wasn't quite sure what. I was just happy they allowed me to tee off. Then he goes, I was bummed when I got the two-stroke penalty. So you show up late. You don't know you're late. You show up late. You're just happy so you're mad about that. Then you're happy they're letting you tee off. And then you find out you have a two-stroke penalty. And then you still have to tee off and play your round and get your head right. And he still shoots a 69. Phenomenal outing there for Mr. Higo on the PGA Tour as well. But a lot of your big-name golfers are struggling at this golf course. Here's the good news, and here's the bad news for these golfers that struggled mightily yesterday. Most people struggled yesterday, so that's the good news as well, right? Going into this deal. Good news is rain is officially done, supposedly, for the weekend. So that now the course is just super wet, dried out. You get into the rough, it's hard to hit out of it because it's all wet in there. Things of that have been happening to these golfers. The wind, though, is going to continue this weekend, and wind was a big issue yesterday. So good news is rain stopping. Bad news is wind is going to continue. And with no wind, the course is going to dry out. They struggled with the firmness of this golf course with the rain. If it dries out on them, this is going to be a nightmare tournament for them out there as well. So all the big name guys most of the big name guys are teeing off this morning. A lot of them are already on the golf course as well. Scotty Scheffler, for instance, he's +2 today through 8. +2 for Scotty Scheffler today. So he's at -1 for the tournament right now for him. Justin Thomas is even today, -1 as well in terms of big names that we're talking about. Ricky Fowler even today, even for the tournament for him. I'm trying to find Rory here. Fitzpatrick. Morikawa is +2 today as well for him. He's +1 for the tournament through 12 as well. I don't know. I should look up what the cut's going to be. Dustin Johnson's even today through 15, but he is +2 for the tournament as well. But here's the thing, right? What's the cut line going to be with these guys out there and struggling? You're going to see some big name guys miss the cut here today if they don't start playing. And nobody's playing. Bryson DeChambeau's even. Hasn't teed off yet today, but he's +6 for the tournament. Tommy Fleetwood, +5 for the tournament. He's +3 today, this morning, through 10 holes. Fleetwood is. He's +5 for the tournament on top of it. J.J. Spawn, +5 for the tournament. He's actually +5 today. He was even yesterday. He's +5 today as well through 14 for him. You're going to have some big name guys missing the cut here in the PGA Championship unless something crazy happens here as well. And I don't see Rory on my list here. There he is. He's not teed off yet today. He does tee off in just a little bit. I think it's 10 o'clock our time, if I remember correctly, 10:30 or something like that. Like I said, he was +4 yesterday on the round. So he's got to put a good outing together today, or he's going to even be in trouble from that side of things. So let's take a break here in the first hour. Got you the car update. We're going to do some NFL card schedule specifically, look at some other ones. We'll have some more in-depth over the weekend, be putting some stuff out on some other teams out there. Like 32 teams is a lot to go through in a night when it came out at 4:30-ish our time yesterday as well. So we'll get into the Cardinals, though, because I think, as I said, the Cardinals got screwed beyond belief there and everything. Don't forget NHL, NBA playoff updates for you. We know who the Western Conference Finals are on that side. We're closer to the Eastern side. With that game, we'll get you updated on that. Interesting NBA thing besides the playoffs happening. Because I've noticed this. I've commented on it, like just in my personal life. I haven't brought it to the air because who cares? But then Yahoo did a story today as well, Yahoo Sports, about uniform colors in the NBA. I found fascinating. I'm going to bring it to your attention as well coming out. Don't forget that youth sports thing. We'll hit up the youth sports thing. I tell you what, let's do NFL at the top of this second hour here so we can spend as much time as we need it on that. Now, as we'll get into that top of the second hour, let's do the youth sports here. Get you updated around NHL and NBA as well through the rest of this half. Do NFL schedule talk here, top of this hour, folks. Come on back. It's the main event, Friday edition. And we're back here, and Papa Mike said he was on the phone with Echo Bee earlier today. Said he had a Steven moment with them. Ethan said it was a living company. So I just looked it up during that break. And yeah, they do those thermostat things. My parents have an Echo Bee, I believe. I was asking my dad about it the other day because I need a programmable thermostat for my house. Mine's programmable, but it's those hard ones where it's difficult to deal with for my up and downstairs. I need to do a better job of being comfortable in my house this summer than I was last year, because I just don't want any $500 electric bills this year. Ridiculous, right? In July, when we have 82 days of July, which is July only has 30 days, but it feels like 82 days of heat. I was actually looking at these rebates because my parents had one I saw as well. I believe they do have these Ecobee ones. But anyway, I digress. That was just back to that story as well. Really quick here, since we're going to push the Cardinals schedule talk to the top of the hour so we can spend time with it. I put mine out there. I have the Cardinals. Now, my initial just sit down, team on team as we know them right now. Like there's question marks with the Giants, question marks with the Saints. None of that came into a factor. Just do you think, talent on talent, if the Cardinals can beat the other team? That's what I did. And I got them to 5-12. There's some caveats to that we'll go over. I went with just my gut feeling. You can hem and haw on a couple of them, to be honest with you. And I'll give you my updated one after looking at their opponents' rest days and things to that effect. We'll talk about that coming up. But Ann did say there as well, TME Media AZ on YouTube, folks. Get in on the chat there. You can still text us, 623-252-6670. And the same person, you can name yourself on the text line, by the way, folks, if you'd like to, as well, like Braxton has and Flash Gordon has and things. But if not, it's just your number. But it's funny. Just tell me what you want to name yourself, and we can update it. We can give you credit because I'm not going to put your number out there. But somebody for the third day in a row now. Tori been fired yet? I love it. I love the passion of Tori. And don't forget, text us. You can text us also. Text us at TME Sports Show as well as what we should look at to reach out and participate in the show, folks. We have you participate every show if you'd like to. You know, we don't make you wait for certain segments and things to that effect out there. But Ann says, my son thinks Cards will go 1-16. He says the only win is against the Jets. Here's what's funny about that, and this is what I was thinking about last night when I saw when the Jets are playing here in Phoenix. I distinctly remember sitting in Sun Devil Stadium. Late 90s, I don't remember the exact year, but the and whatever Jets were coming to town. Boomer Esiason was their quarterback. And they were 0 for whatever, and Cardinals stunk that year too. And you were like, Cardinals, they'll get another win here. They'll get another win right now. Win's going to be them. And they lost miserably to the Jets. So I still hold that as, I'm not even sure they can beat the Jets, no matter how bad the Jets are. I still hold that against the Cardinals. The Cardinals will lose to the Jets. I did put them as a W, but that just sticks with me, man. Just sticks with me. Stupid and whatever. It was the only win the Jets had that year on top of it. So I still have those Jets flashbacks from the 90s there at Sun Devil Stadium, sitting in that stadium as well. But 1-16, really. I will say this. I think it's fair. The buys in week 14? Off the top of my head. I will say this. It's fair to think the Cardinals are going to start 0-13 this year. It's easy to think that. It's hard to argue against that, to be honest with you, as well. Papa Mike says, I see the Cardinals going 4-13. He says, Jets, Giants, Saints, and Raiders are the victories for the Cardinals. Okay. I chose some things just going off of talent-wise stuff there. A little bit of history, like with the Cowboys. I know several of my Cowboys fans and you guys out there commented, I wouldn't be on the Cardinals. Cardinals play well in Dallas. They have. Was it last year? They were sucking. Kyler Murray wasn't even back yet. And what did the Cardinals do? Go to Dallas and win. That's kind of the ode to that. But we'll get into the Cardinals here coming up as well. Text us, hit us up, TME Media AZ as well on YouTube. Text us, and all of the fun stuff out there. Now, I want to just talk to you really quick and get you an update on youth sports. Now, the reason why I want to do this, as I said, is look, some of you have young kids out there that are getting into sports and want to get into sports. Youth sports took a big hit during the COVID years and afterwards. People just didn't want to go out and play sports during COVID years. A lot of couldn't because of lockdowns, etc. And then kids are just different afterwards, right? They don't interact like we do anymore because right in the prime of their lives, you said you can't talk to people except on a screen. Stupidest thing we did to kids, right? And then it affects those of us that don't have young kids that can go into sports. Like me, like I said, for me, the kids being born today, little Avery from Dale, and I'm waiting for an update from him, Papa Mike, he asked. They were in there like early, like 5 or 6 o'clock for the scheduled thing. So I don't even know if Dale might not have heard yet, but I did text him before the show started and just said, hey, is there an update? Do we have a new grandchild now? Has not responded yet. So I'll give you the update if I get one as well. By the way, the kids being born today in 18, 19 years from now, they're going to be the kids we're watching in college and going into the professional side of it, to keep our sports enjoyment going. Youth sports participation climbed to 58% in 2024, its highest rate in nearly a decade as well. The Aspen Institute did a study. I saw it on Yahoo, and then I went to the Aspen Institute and read through the study as well. But the rate was as low as 48.5% in 2021, and it's climbed ever since then. It was at 53.8% in 22, 55.4% in 23 as well. So we're back up there to 58% in 2024. And, a lot of these kids are future sports stars that we're going to be watching on our televisions as Diamondback fans, as Suns fans, Lakers fans, Spurs fans, whatever fan you are of out there. You're going to be watching these kids coming up there, and we're seeing those numbers come back up. So interesting, just a little sports nugget there. It's easy just to look at today's, kids and everything and go, this is all I care about is today. Well, if kids aren't playing sports today, youth sports today, well, you're going to have limited people going up and playing sports into the professional levels and college levels and talented kids that would be good sports athletes, moving away from that into other areas. That I attribute that to like boxing. A lot of kids, grew up when I was little and they watched boxing. They wanted to be boxers. They wanted to learn how to box and stuff like that. And then the sport got all crazy and sideways and stuff. And then kids that would have been talented in the boxing field either moved to MMA or some other sport, right? Baseball had that problem for a while. Or baseball's boring, so I'm going to go play this sport instead where they're not as good at it, right? And you lose those talented kids out there as well. The federal government does have a program called the Healthy People 2030 program. Well, they have a goal set for 63% of children to participate in organized sports by 2030 here. So we are, just 4 years away from that goal level there of 63% of children. Sports is for children does a lot. Forget about, me and Dale talk about it all the time. He's got his grandson, his oldest grandson there, his only grandson. The other two are girls now. But he talks all the time about parents there, right? We're talking, first grade, kindergarten, first grade parents, yelling at their kids and doing all this stuff and yelling at the referees and umpires. I saw it when Ireland was doing a lot of softball. And it's just like, man, let them be kids at this age, people. Ireland stopped playing softball because of this a-hole coach that she had who was just grinding down on them and expected them to be like high school kids looking for scholarships and things like that. She got tired of it and didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it was like, this is how it's going to go. I don't want to be part of this anymore. He literally ruined the fun of the sport that my daughter loved playing because he was an a-hole. One of those guys that wants to push everything. Just ridiculous out there. Let them be kids, man. Get them out there. They have plenty of time to think of it as a sport going forward. But anyway, interesting deal there. Really quick on the PGA Tour, if I can go back to that real quick here. Adam Scott, by the way, made his 99th consecutive major start yesterday on the PGA Championship. Only one golfer's ahead of him for major starts, and that's Jack Nicklaus, 146. He's still 47 behind the long-time retired Jack Nicklaus now, right, for major starts. Who's behind Adam Scott? This is the more fascinating. So he's 47 majors behind Jack Nicklaus. Who's behind Adam Scott there in second place? I'll tell you this, it's Jordan Spieth. But how far behind is he? Halfway, maybe? 52 major starts for him. So the leader's 146 major starts. Adam Scott is right behind him there, 99th. And then long behind him, Jordan Spieth, 52 major starts. I just find that a fascinating stat as well. Major starts, man. It also goes to show you, even the lifespan of golfers in the majors is not longevity either. Small blips right now on the PGA Tour. Right? You got Rory. Obviously hasn't played in every major. If he's not even in the third place there at 52, you miss some and things to that effect. So interesting numbers there that we're looking at here on the main event, like we do as well. So Kobe, we got NFL, of course, schedule coming up here at the top of the second hour. We're going to spend a ton of time on that as well and breaking that down. So come and join us as well on that. Preakness Stakes is this weekend for you horse racing fans. Get you ready for the weekend. Obviously over at Maryland's Laurel Park this year. It's a temporary hosting site for the Preakness because the regular race course there for the Preakness, I forget the name of it, it's going under reconstruction this year and everything. Renovations is happening there. So temporary host this weekend over there at Maryland's Laurel Park. 6:50 p.m. Eastern, so 3:50 p.m. our time on Saturday. For those of you that want to watch the 151st running of the Preakness Stakes. I'll have it on. I'll watch that race. I just don't get excited about these races after the Kentucky Derby. It's just there's something about the Derby that just really gets you excited out there as well. Things. So MLB's rivalry weekend is upon us this weekend. Out there, 15 traditional or geographically driven rivalry series are scheduled across the Major League Baseball this weekend, so we'll get you updated on those here coming up later in the show as well. But first, throw up the NBA playoff graphic, playoff brackets, if you will, for me, Kobe, here. And we'll get the NBA out of the way here at the end of this first hour because, like I said, I want to give the time needed here for the NFL schedules and things like that. So, obviously, Thunder and Knicks are just sitting at home waiting for their opponents out there. Well, tonight you've got two games tonight on the NBA circuit. Timberwolves Spurs. I told you before, I just think that the Spurs are going to win tonight, close out that series on that side. I just think the Timberwolves tying it up 2-2. I think after that, with not suspending Wemby, some other things there, I do expect this game to get really chippy tonight, though. I do. I expect some shenanigans to happen in this game. Does that sway the game as it goes on, or do the Spurs just dominate like they did in the last game to go up 3-2? Well, that's tonight there on Prime Video for Timberwolves Spurs. I expect to close out fine. We'll see what that happens. That I don't know if it really matters with the Thunder just sitting at home. I was high on the Spurs Thunder Western Conference Championship, but the longer that the that the Thunder sit at home, I got a bad feeling for what's coming up here in the series. Even though the Spurs did win the series over the Thunder and gave them the most headaches during the regular season. Then you got Pistons Cavaliers tonight as well. For that. Oh, by the way, if they do need a Game 7, it will be Sunday for both of these series as well. So just a heads up, if anybody ties this series up tonight, Game 7s will be on Sunday before we come back here. So just a heads up on that. Pistons Cavaliers go up tonight. I'll tell you this. I don't know if the Pistons stay alive tonight or not. I don't know if the Cavaliers win tonight or not. I do think the Cavs are winning this series. Do the Pistons have one more blip in them to win? Can they stop Donovan Mitchell? Can they stop James Harden, who for some reason, after all that controversy early in this series with his turnovers and everything, James Harden's woken up a little bit. Can the Pistons curtail that? Can the Pistons have a lead with 3 minutes to go and not blow it and make the game go into overtime where the Cavaliers win it? I do think the Pistons can win tonight. I'm not sure if they can win 2 in a row. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. To be honest with you, I'm kind of just torn on how this game goes tonight as well. But both NBA games are tonight as well. Interesting other thing around the NBA that I just because we do things like this here on this program and everything. So I just want to make you aware of things. So when you're just talking to your friends or your things, just interesting little stats out there that I see while I'm reading stuff and everything, like the youth sports, like the how many the starters at majors, right? With Adam Scott going into second place at 99 starts in the majors. Those little stats, you can surprise your friends, your bosses, your smart aleck. That one guy that knows everything about sports at your office that you can't stand, right? Because no matter what you say, he's like, oh, but actually, we give you these little fun little nuggets that you can throw out at him and shut him up. Well, he'd probably just come back with something. Well, you're wrong on that, actually. You know what? You tell him. No. Stephen McCollum at the main event, he said it. It's got to be true. It has to be true. Greg. This is the stat I saw. 33% of games for the NBA. I told you, we're going a little bit off the base here, folks, on these types of things. Yeah. 10 years ago, home teams used to always wear white. For instance, 10 years ago, 83 of 86 playoff games, which is 97%, according to Yahoo, wore white for their playoff games, for instance. This postseason, so 10 years later, 22 of 66 games. According to Yahoo, that's 33%. I did not check the math. I'm just going with their story. 33% of teams are wearing white for their home games. Isn't that interesting? I've noticed that like subconsciously. Then I read this and I went, oh my God, you're right. I tune into games. I'm not kidding you, folks. I will watch games, even in the regular season. And it takes me a few minutes to figure out which team is what. Because I instinctively think the home team's wearing white. And they aren't. They aren't in big numbers. Yeah. What's the blame for this? Well, of course, it's always Nike's fault, right? Everything about traditions and everything going away is always Nike's fault. Yeah, according to Yahoo, Nike took over the NBA's on-court uniform business back in 2017. They created a 4-uniform system that leaned much more heavily into alternate, colorful jerseys, right? Those are those alternate ones, the low Spurs and low Suns type thing, uniforms. And the colorful alternate jerseys sell better than your traditional, just regular white jerseys. They do. So teams choose to wear those colorful type jerseys and everything, at home. Isn't that fascinating? 33% of games is all we get white uniforms in the NBA, folks. That's why these stats I just gave you is why you pay attention to the main event here and tune into us here on TME Media AZ on YouTube, of course, Robat TV. As well, live or on demand as well. And folks, when we come back, second hour, you're going to find out why I held the NFL schedule talk off as well. We'll talk about that. NHL updates for you. We'll get the weekend set up for Major League Baseball. Come on back. Having some fun on this Friday, the main event. And we're back here, main events, and boy, folks, Dale did respond with an update on the situation. Let's go live to Dale Hellestrae. Dale, are you in? Can you hear me? Dale, are you there?
Unfortunately, I can hear you. I could go sit at the house and wait for the word, or come down here and.
Folks, so in this room, we have a door that opens and closes just for the studio. And I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. You might have saw my eyes dart off. I got panicked for a minute because the door just flies open.
Well, this neighborhood, you just never know, Steve.
And I'm like, who's here? Who's coming in the studio right now? Made me panic a little bit. But Dale, if you don't mind, give us the update.
Well,
you have a third grandchild.
Took Graham into school this morning. Brooke has Beckett. And I don't get Graham till later on this afternoon, but took Hillary back about 25 minutes ago. Things running just a smidge late.
Yeah, I was just saying that's a late time frame.
They were thinking 8 o'clock they'd take her back. I think about 20-minute delay. So now we just sit here and wait.
They got to do all the medical stuff.
Yeah, give the epidural.
Get the room opened up.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. So we're just waiting for now. And
you people be the
19th,
the 4th to know,
the 20th to know. Well, if it happens in the next hour, it'll be the case. So if Dale gets distracted with this phone, folks, we'll know why as well. Really quick, I've talked about 32 of 156 players were under par in round one yesterday in the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
struggling galore. Big names are going to miss the cut today unless something changes as well. Earlier, this course has been deadly. We talked about that earlier. If you want to add anything, I talked about youth sports. Up to 58% of youth sports kids in youth sports now. That number's skyrocketing up here after those COVID years. Gave that little stat as well. And then I just got done with an NBA stat on the home team not wearing white anymore in the NBA. Ann says, funny you mentioned the uniform colors. One of the T-Wolves games, my kid asked, when did their team color become green? No, because I'm not kidding you. There have been times I've tuned into games and been like, which team? Like when the Spurs wear that, I call it a rainbow color. I'm like, which team is the Spurs out there?
Right.
And stuff like that. So 33% of them though don't wear the white uniforms anymore.
The thing that I've always said, because colleges first of all went to all this alternate uniform, and Oregon has 32 different combinations.
I think more than that.
Whatever. But I just always said, you know what? Do what you want to do. They're not going for you and me, Steve. Yeah. They're going for the 20, 25-year-old kid. And I just want to be able to recognize the team.
Well, that's my point. Like baseball, the other day I was watching a baseball game and they had the alternate jerseys on, and it was like an abbreviation of the city they're in on the front. And I was like, what team am I watching right now?
What city is
like,
that?
Who is that? It was just like a red uniform.
Well, I
was just like, what is this?
I saw Portland playing one time, and they had different colors.
Yeah.
And it said PDX.
Yeah. That's their alternative uniform. The airport code.
I'm like, PDX.
Well, the Spurs one. I think it was the Spurs game. I think it was like game 1 or game 2 where they wore that uniform. And I call it the rainbow one. I don't know what they call it. All the different colors. And I remember watching it for like a couple of minutes, going, which team is which?
Where's Wemby? If Wemby's not out there, you don't know it's San Antonio.
But that's the other thing I hate too. Like I hate when Arizona State goes to the U of A rivalry game and they're not wearing school colors. Yeah. There was a couple of times where they wore like a gray uniform, and I'm like,
yeah,
not in a rivalry game, man. You wear maroon and gold in a rivalry game. They wear their blue and white and blue and red and white on that game. That stuff drives me nuts. But yeah, why did the T-Wolves have green on? Why?
Well, Minnesota's green, Steve. There's a lot of green in there. I don't know.
I know. But those are the little silly stats that I found yesterday, Dale. I gave you an update on my car. I'm taking it back today, Dale. Yeah, I'm taking it back. No, it's nothing exciting. I tried to make it exciting early in the show. Took it to the public charger. Didn't work. Took it to another public charger. Didn't work. Called him. I'm in the middle of the sentence. The guy goes, bring it back in. And I go, look, man, I just had a rental car. I was prepared to have a rental car. It's still not working. I go, I'm going to need a loaner. And he goes, yeah, we'll get you a loaner, no big deal.
You're like, come on, no, what? Hey, I also want a buffet dinner.
And then I go, oh, so when do I need to make this appointment? How long out do I have to wait to get that loaner card? And he goes, no, just bring it back tomorrow.
Like,
we'll take care of you.
You're like, come on, man.
And
I want to fight.
It was a really smooth experience, man. It was kind of funny. So today at the beginning of the show, I tried to make it sound rougher than it was, but no, Earnhardt Chevrolet. I mean, I got to give them credit, man. They're even though they didn't fix it right, which is annoying because now I have to be out. Like I was telling everybody, I'm driving out of my way to go to this place too.
Okay.
But they're taking care of it, and we'll see if they take care of it.
Right.
But, I got to deal with that today as well. But Dale, obviously the big news right now is your Arizona Cardinals schedule came out yesterday.
Two things. Number one, last night running around with Graham and Hillary and Scott are getting ready to go, and I saw something on Twitter. We'll see how long Dale's drive is, or was it worth it?
No. I think I think that you're talking about the Braxton one. I think he was just talking about. Text me to see how my day went.
Okay.
Make sure I'm not in jail or something. I think that's what he was referring to.
Sometimes I can't follow.
Well, he didn't give you any context.
Okay.
So he obviously listened or watched the show later in the day and stuff. So sometimes they don't give context. So you have to read into the context. But you were busy dealing with the family stuff, so you probably just saw it.
Yeah, I just saw it, and I didn't see the context. So anyway.
Well, Kobe, so then the Cardinals schedule came out about 4:30, and I just did my initial quick reaction, Dale. So, Kobe, if you could throw that up for me here.
Yeah, you came up with 4 wins somehow.
5 wins.
5?
Yeah. Here's what I did. Dale, this is just simply Cardinals playing Chargers, Cardinals playing Seahawks.
Yeah.
Know where you're traveling to, know who you play the week before, who you play the week after, know when's your bye week and the injuries are going to beat you up because your bye weeks, I swear to God, their bye week is week 32 of this NFL season coming up here. So none of that stuff, no new coaching staff, no nothing. It's just sit down, your perception of the team you're playing and your perception of the Cardinals. I got 5 wins. I will tell you this. I struggled with 2 of these. I think they'll beat the Raiders at home late in the season. Now, there's factors involved here that we can go over. But my initial reaction is beat the Raiders, beat the Jets. Even though the Jets beating the Cardinals back in the late 90s with Boomer Esiason, and they were 0 for whatever. And that was the only win that season. They came into Arizona and beat the Cardinals that season. Still sticks with me and haunts me. But I do see them beating the Jets as well, even though the Jets will be improved this year. Just my gut is on the Commanders, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinators. Now you're getting them in week 12. I don't know, right, who's going to be healthy, who's not. But just talent on talent, I think this is probably a pretty competitive team. But because it's at home, I gave it to the Cardinals. The Cowboys, I'm not going to lie to you. Being at Dallas, Cardinals play well there. So I did favor the Cardinals. That's one that you could turn into an L in this study if you want. This is the one where I was like, it can go either way. So I just gave the Cardinals a win. Same thing with the Giants there. Cardinals have better Giants than the Giants. That's all that look was. I'll tell you this, going into the coaching staff, the coaching staff differences, the experience of the coaching staffs, plus who the Cardinals play the week before and the week after, I think the Cardinals are going to have a really hard time beating the Giants in New York in week 4. So like I said, this was just a sit down and look at, and I had 5 wins, just talent on talent. The way you perceive these teams now is what I just threw down there. That's why I got 5. Now that I've done the deep dive in this schedule, they're going to be lucky to have 3 wins. And all 3 wins are probably coming Jets, Raiders, possibly the Saints. I gave the Saints the nod in New Orleans. And then the Commanders to me are a toss-up. They're going to have 3 wins, and they're all going to happen at the end of the year.
My 2 takeaways from the schedule. Number 1, it's almost like the NFL thought there were 31 teams in the league. And then it's like, we're going to release it this evening. And, we still got the Cardinals. Let's just give them the early game every Sunday, whoever they're playing that week.
Yep.
And that way it'll cover everything up. Their name didn't even come up for a Thursday night game.
No.
It didn't even come up for a Thursday. And that's,
Yeah.
hey, we got to give a team a Thursday night game.
We got to give a team something to promote them a little bit. Nope.
Nothing.
Sunday afternoon games.
And I'm looking through the schedule at the times. Times are important to me because usually if you're later time,
the 4:25 on the East Coast window.
Right. It's a little bit more viewable of a game.
Yeah, that is where you want to. You do not want to be the 10 o'clock or noon
11 o'clock,
whatever it is, wherever you're at. You don't want to be those games because they don't expect you to watch it.
All 17 of them. Yeah. Even the Cowboys couldn't even save them.
That's the interesting thing. The teams they're playing, they were just like, they have better opponents that could be prime time.
I mean, we don't want to show a blowout on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. Or it was like they were totally disregarded by the NFL.
I will say, I do think two other teams are getting screwed by the NFL more than the Cardinals, which we can touch on here today a little bit. One of them wants to be cheated a little bit and everything. But here's what's interesting about this schedule as well, as you guys just saw there on your screen. It just might be. That's how I got to 5. In actuality, when you break it all down, like for instance, the Cardinals have to play the Seahawks at home week 2. Catch the Seahawks early is what I would say. Coming off that Super Bowl high, playing the Patriots in week 1, here's the problem. They have 10 days off before they play the Cardinals in week 2.
Yep.
Dear God, you're going to give a better coaching staff, a better talented team 10 days before you play your whole second week game against the Cardinals? Dear God, what a disadvantage for the Cardinals going into week 2 against the Seahawks. There's not an advantage to catch the Seahawks early in a Super Bowl hangover when they play their first game on a Wednesday night and they don't play again until the following Sunday. Dear God, you're disadvantaged. Here's the bigger problem. At Chargers, at home, at Niners, at Giants, Lions at home, at Rams.
No, Steve.
4 of their 6 first games are on the road.
Steve, if you look at the schedule and you're honest and you just go by, okay, I know a little bit about football. Mm-hmm. They are not even going to be, I don't think, less than a touchdown underdog.
Maybe the Giants.
And I don't even know about that.
That's my thing. But because of week 4, but it's there. But here's the other side. At Niners, so Chargers are a physical football team, if you don't know. Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, or Jim Harbaugh, physical dude. Opening game this, everybody's going to be healthy. Dear God. Just hopefully the Cardinals can come out of this healthy. Then you go Seahawks at home, Super Bowl champions.
And no matter what happens that first week with Seattle, they'll have 10 days.
Yes.
And if you're going to have a Super Bowl hangover, it's probably going to happen that first game.
Yes, against the Patriots.
And then you'll have 10 days of
getting yelled at.
Yes.
You're getting yelled at by your coaching staff. Now, I say catch Seattle early because they also, remember, have a new offensive coordinator this year. Their offensive coordinator's in Las Vegas. That will cause some problems, at least at the beginning of the year, for the Seahawks. But that 10-day thing does you no favors to have that work in your favor. But then you go to the Niners. Physical football game, Dale.
Oh.
Just beat up galore. Then you have to come back to Arizona, travel all the way to New York. Say what you want about the Giants' talent. It isn't great. But what do they have there now? The better coaching staff. That's going to have those guys ready to play physical and hard.
And by the way, Steve, you'll have to get up early for your bacon and eggs because that's a 10 o'clock kickoff.
At the Giants. Yes.
Which never bodes well. Yeah.
So even that Giant, I have them as a win in my initial, but I was just going talent on talent. Cardinals have probably better talent than the Giants, but the coaching staff will change that. Plus, it's early in the season, so Scatterboo, Jackson Dart are going to be physical as all heck at that time frame. They're not going to be all beaten down yet. Big concerns there. But then you come back and you got to look ahead to the Lions, another deadly physical football team coming your way. Dear God. And then you go at the Rams. So you have 2 home games so far this season. What do the Rams do every time they play the Cardinals?
Kill them.
Oh, my. Half the Cardinals team comes out of that game injured. And you go right into the Broncos, one of the best defensive teams in the league. Look at this. Chargers defense, pretty dang good. Seahawks defense, pretty dang good. 49ers defense, pretty dang good. Even when not healthy, pretty dang good. Giants, we'll put them aside for a second. Lions defense, pretty dang good. Rams defense, pretty dang good. Broncos defense, one of the best in the league. Your second break is week 8 at the Cowboys. I don't even know how much that of a break it is. But that's your second kind of break with a chance there. And then you're at Seahawks again. You don't have 2 home games in a row yet. We're at week 9 at Cowboys, at Seahawks. Then you got the Rams at home in week 10. Oh, yeah, you get a break after that beatdown, that physical game, regardless of what happens. You got to go to Kansas City, week 11. And then you kind of get the break here with Commanders. People are really high on the Commanders this year. I think the offensive and defensive coordinator, I think changing both of those guys is going to be a bigger problem with Dan Quinn than people are giving it credit for. We talked about this with the Lions last year. Plus, Jaden Daniels, great season, right? They got injured. How does he rebound? There's some question marks behind that. But then with all this physical football they're going to be playing, Dale, and you know this, you played the 85 Bears. You played those Baltimore teams that were really good. You know what a physical game will do to you afterwards in terms of recovery, especially as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And your bye week isn't until week 13.
Week 14.
Week 4. Is it 14 or 13? Well, whatever it is. It's late in the season.
December 12th.
That's week 13. Yeah, you don't get your bye week until week 13. By the way, either do the Cowboys. So what does that say for disrespect? Too latest.
The Cowboys also have 6 nationally.
Well, that's the other side. They have more rest games than the Cardinals. Cardinals are just every 7 days. We boom, we go. But this is amazing. I think we're gonna have unbelievable guys just struggling this year. Then you come back after the bye week. Oh, let's take it easy on the Cardinals. Let's go Eagles at home.
Hold on. So you're looking at something different. The schedule I'm looking at, they play the Eagles, then there's a bye.
I am looking at the. Oh, really? Let me double check here because I am looking at. I'll tell you in a second. Really backwards. I know there's a lot of schedules that were messed up.
Okay, I just see right before
Where'd
the
you
bye
get
they
yours
play
at?
Philadelphia, then bye, and then at the versus the Jets.
Oh my God, that schedule release thing for the Cardinals was ridiculous yesterday.
Did you watch it?
I watched about 4 minutes of it. We all now we're lucky enough here. We don't have to have Zoom meetings at this company, so we're lucky. But oh my God, it made me hate the corporate world when I saw that thing. It was so ridiculous to look at. I'm pulling up here because I saw a couple different things here. So I got the official releases. Philly is December 6th. Yeah, so the bye week's after that. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it backwards. Okay, so the schedule I pulled up for this is backwards. Okay.
Okay.
So it's Philly, then the bye week. Okay. Glad you corrected me on that. For that. It's just what I have. Then you got the Jets, New Orleans, Las Vegas. They could have peppered in a couple of these low other bad teams in there earlier in the schedule to give you a chance to take a break. Not that playing the Vegas and Saints is going to be easier and less physical, but there is a difference in physicality between these teams. The Niners game at the end of the year, to me, doesn't matter because the Niners are either going to be in the playoffs or not. They're going to be resting people. So I don't even care about that game. Dear God, Dale. It would be a bloodbath.
The thing that always, there's so many unique things about the Cardinals in a bad way. To me, the talk I heard last night after the schedule was released and then some this morning was, well, when's Carson Beck going to get his first start?
Yeah.
That's what we have to look forward to if you're a Cardinal fan.
You want to have that conversation. There is nothing to be excited about as a Cardinals fan going into this season. I've told you guys that all along. That's why when they drafted Carson Beck, I was like, just start him. Just put him out there. Let's go. And that's the only excitement we have. That and Jeremiah Love. Are you excited to watch Marvin Harrison Jr. this year? Anybody drop contested balls all year long? Anybody excited to watch that? Anybody excited to see this defense play overall this year? Anybody excited to watch that? We know what we got. And then it's like the NFL's like, oh, Cardinals fans are feeling some hope here with Carson Beck and Jeremiah Love. Let's kick them in the nuts and give them their schedule.
I swear to you, this schedule looks like 31 schedules were done like, oh, crap, we forgot the Cardinals.
How can you not put New Orleans, Las Vegas, Jets? How could you not spread them out a little bit and make it like an easy schedule?
I just don't know how NBC, ESPN, Netflix, and Prime Video aren't fighting over a Cardinal game.
With Jeremiah Love and Carson Beck.
Oh, gosh.
This is...
When I saw you pick 5, I didn't even see the schedule. I saw you pick 5 wins. I'm like, all right, what is Steve drinking tonight?
No, I know. I knew people were going to react the way. Dale, I could have had 6 easily. But like I said, it's talent on talent. The Dallas one, you can make that a loss. I get it. Dallas probably has more talent than the Cardinals do. It's just Cardinals play better there, so that's why I went that route. The Saints, you don't know what you're going to get.
No.
So you could switch that one back and forth even.
You
that's
could
why
be
I
by
just settled
Tyler
with 5.
Shuck.
They were moving the ball at the end of last year, Dale. They were putting up points.
Bears.
So 5 was just a talent on talent. Had nothing to do with the bye week. I think the closer you get to the bye week, the worse the losses are going to get. Because guys aren't going to hold up. Period. End of story. This is just like, hey, okay, for instance, Dale, I'm just gonna look at it this way as we talk about the Cardinals. They'll be lucky to have 3 wins when you break down travel. They've loaded their home games at home, which I hate. Spread them out during the season, But
hold on, they
spread the home games out throughout the whole season.
Okay.
Not what they did, where it's just end of the season garbage. Where we're sitting at home with these. Because even when the Las Vegas comes in, right, and you're like, oh, this is a win. This will be a win. You're not going to care because they're going to be 1 in whatever at that point.
No, you're probably not going to want them to win.
Yeah, right? For the thing. Yes. Yeah, you're right. But, okay. I don't know, Dale. Tell me which team that we go through didn't miss the playoffs. Just say playoffs or no playoffs from last year. You ready? Chargers.
Nope.
Seahawks.
Nope.
No, just saying that they went to the playoffs.
Oh, I'm saying. I thought you said didn't make the playoffs.
That they did go to the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, just go.
Yes.
Yeah. Chargers, Seahawks, Niners.
Yes.
Giants.
Nope.
Okay. Lions.
Yep.
No, they didn't. They were last place in their division last year. But Rams.
Yes.
Broncos.
Yes.
Cowboys.
No.
Seahawks.
Yes.
Rams.
Yes.
Chiefs.
Yes.
Commanders.
No.
Eagles.
Yes.
Jets.
Did they squeak in?
No, not even close. But Saints, Raiders, no on those, and then Niners. They're playing nothing but not only playoff teams from last year, but projected playoff teams this year.
You know what's going to happen, Steve, as I'm looking at this schedule now? They're going to be 0 for whatever.
They could be 0-13 going into their bye week.
And then they're going to beat the Jets, Saints, and Raiders
and blow
the top pick.
Not only that, Dale, we're all going to be excited that they beat them. Like, we're all going to be like, oh, my God, we won 3 games. Saints aren't going to be easy in New Orleans this year. I'm not saying they're the best team on the planet, but they were putting stuff together last year, especially as the season went on, better and better as it went on.
Yep.
You don't know what the young quarterback's going to do on the Raiders. The new head coach struggles there, and you get to those end games, right? Like the Jets, Saints, Raiders. You don't know what they're going to be. If the Raiders,
either team might want to win.
That's what I'm saying. If the Raiders only have 1 or 2 wins, they might be mailing it in a little bit as well, right?
Who can mail it in better?
This is brutal, man. This is a brutal. Here's the thing: they could be 0-13 before their bye week. This is an unbelievable stat. Realistically, they could be 0-13 going into their bye week.
The only game, if it was played in Arizona, that I could see them possibly being favored in would be the Giants. But that's in New York.
In New York.
Will they be favored in any of their first 13
Cardinals
games?
are officially listed as underdogs in all 17 games this season. I can tell you that. 8 double-digit underdogs, Dale.
I got to take a quick break.
Oh, Dale, you go handle that, Kobe. Throw it on there. 8 double-digit underdogs. Make sure everything's all right there. We might have a grandkid in here. 8 double-digit underdogs and touchdown or more underdogs in their first 11 games, folks. 8 double-digit touchdown or more underdogs in the first 11 games. That includes the Giants game. The win total set at 4.5. Cram the under. Whew. Third hardest schedule. No primetime games, of course, as well as what they're looking at on that. So, So against the Chargers right now on the betting boards, week 1 against the Chargers, plus 11.5. Cardinals are dogs. Seahawks is 10-point dogs for the Cardinals in that game. Against the 49ers in week 3 at Niners, 11.5-point dogs. Against the Giants, at Giants, well, that's only plus 7. Cardinals are only a touchdown dogs in that one. Lions, plus 8.5 there for the Detroit. Whew. Rams, 13.5 dogs for the Cardinals in the Rams game in week 6. 7.5 for the Broncos, folks. Cowboys, 10.5-point dogs right now. Seahawks, 13.5 in week 9. Rams, 10.5 in week 10. Chiefs, 11.5-point dogs for the Chief one as of right now on the gambling boards out there. That's how ridiculous this schedule is. And your perception is of your Arizona Cardinals now. Can you get excited a little bit? Can you get excited about Carson Beck? When does he go in? I don't even care. Just throw him out there. If you start this season 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, 0-6, you got to change it up. Even if it's not a quarterback problem, even if the offense is flowing and you just can't stop people, you've got to change it up and see what you got. Give your fan base something to look at. But this tells you the state of the Arizona Cardinals today. This is a bigger point. This is a team that was bad last year, took a step backwards and is bad. Who did Michael Bidwell piss off besides everybody? They literally gave you no concessions as the Cardinals team right now going into this. It just so happens they're really bad, and they're playing the hardest teams out there on top of it. And not only that, they're playing the hardest teams mostly on the road. Yeah, you get the Broncos at home and stuff to that effect. Folks, this is brutal schedule for the Arizona Cardinals. There's no other way to put it here in this game and stuff. It is bad. And says, since my husband is a Raiders fan, that will probably be the one game we go to this year. Says, glad I gave up my season ticket, so I'm not feeling disappointed making that drive every Sunday this fall. Yeah. The only hope we have as Cardinals fans is to go see Jeremiah Love and maybe Carson back. I like Jacoby Brissett. I like Gardner Minshew as quarterbacks, but I don't want to see them start the whole season. I'm not going to get excited for either of them to start these games. This is brutal, folks. Absolutely brutal schedule coming up here for the Cardinals. I don't even know what to do with it. Now, like I said, there are other teams out there. So, like I said, yesterday, just team on team, I had them 5-12. Trust me, I know I was too optimistic looking into it. But starting 4 of your first 6 games on the road, they have 3 home games through week 9. 6 road games, 3 and 6. That alone is brutal. Before I ask my next question to the ex-NFLer. Nothing? All right.
In the procedure right now. Hopefully get an answer very quickly.
All right, perfect. No, but that was before I asked my football question, I should have said.
Yeah.
So nothing yet from that front. I'm excited, man. I'm nervous.
I was thinking about it because I've been put under a lot. I like getting put under because it's so relaxing. You got some good sleep. No, I wouldn't want to wake up with a C-section.
That's
but,
the problem.
Yeah.
Your stomach being put back together again afterwards.
Yes.
And everything. All right. So
Okay.
Dale, just so you know, Dale might have to take off again. But I went through the thing. 11.5-point dogs to the Chargers. 10-point dogs to the Seahawks. 11.5-point dogs to the Niners.
Okay, so for the first 3 games.
7 to the Giants.
So first 3 games, they're doubled. And this isn't, Northern Arizona playing ASU.
No.
This is a professional football
team.
Double-digit underdog.
Yeah. Then they get a break. They're only 7-point dogs to the Giants.
How many games did the Giants win last year? 3 or 4?
Yeah, same problem. Then you have, more hope. More hope with the Giants based off of one, they had 2 dynamic players and coaching staff, right?
Oh.
So you're going to favor them a little bit more. Lions are only 8.5-point dogs to the Lions right now, which does shock me a little bit.
Yeah.
But don't forget the Pensing revenge game in that one, Dale. that Lions offense is going to look so dynamic in that game.
I hope.
It's just receivers are going to be just wide open all game, running these funky routes, and we're not going to know what happens, Dale.
I hope that they complete about 3 60-yard touchdown passes, and he just looks up at you and points at you. Is that for you, McCollum?
That's gonna be one of those games where the offense is gonna look so dynamic. I'm gonna be sitting in that stadium against the Lions, and I'm gonna be going, "Where the hell was that the last 3 years?"
Oh,
I'm gonna turn around and look at Monty's mom and be like, "Where the hell was that?"
They're at the Rams. That has to be double digits.
It is 13.5.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In an NFL game.
Broncos are only 7.5. I think that one, to me, that's home.
Yes.
Lions and the Broncos, they're giving the Cardinals a few points.
3-point field goal for
on that
home.
stuff, right? Cowboys 10.5-point dogs for the Cowboys, folks. This is the disrespect the Cardinals have. I said while you were gone, I said I don't know who Michael Bidwell pissed off besides everyone. But this is literally the league saying, "F that guy." Seriously. It can't be anything else than that. This is ridiculous. Seahawks, 13.5-point dogs there at Seattle. Then the Rams at home, not as bad. Only 10.5-point favorite dogs at home against the Rams the second at home. On the road, it's 13.5.
Okay.
Chiefs are 11.5-point favorites there in Week 11. Going down the deal. This is brutal.
Now, I got to think the Commanders are less than a touchdown, aren't they?
7. Yeah.
That's a game at home.
At home, yep. Yep.
No, this, again, I saw it and I heard about it last night, and so many people think, oh, the Giants game is a good game for Carson Beck to start. When that's your talking point.
Well, it gives you no hope, yeah.
No.
That's the only hope we have, is my point. Jeremiah Love and Carson Beck. We know what this team is otherwise. We know what Marvin Harrison Jr. is. We know what the offensive line that should be improved, but we know what they are, right? To open up that running game. Can they open up that running game type of a deal? There's nothing to get excited about, and literally the schedule people went, kick them while they're down, folks. But here's the other side of it. This is the question I was going to go to.
Hold on.
Go. Yep.
Do you have the point spreads for the whole season?
I don't have them all in front of me. I only wrote down the first
Oh,
part.
okay.
I can look it up. Go ahead.
No, I just wonder, Jets, Saints, Raiders.
They are underdogs in every game, Dale.
Even the Jets at home and the Raiders at home, they're underdogs.
Underdogs in all 17 games. Mm-hmm.
Does this not just honestly smell of 5:30 Eastern time yesterday? Go, all right, we're ready to reveal it.
Cardinals are like, where's our schedule?
Yes, hey, did somebody forget about the Cardinals?
And the Cardinals and the NFL went,
oh,
are you guys still here?
Let's just give them the early Sunday game all 17 weeks.
It is so terrible.
And which bye week is missing a team? All right, let's give them that week.
First of all, bye weeks should all be within like week 6 and like 11. And 11 might be too far. Middle of the season, everybody should have bye weeks. Period. End of story. Unless you go to 2 bye weeks, then you get an early one and a later one.
Right.
But this is ridiculous. Even the Cowboys are getting screwed by that bye week, man. They're the same week as the Cardinals. In December. You're not going to have a bye week until December.
The Cowboys have a bye week in December, and then they play Thanksgiving Day, so they get another 10 days.
They get the extra break. That's the other side of it. Everybody else the Cardinals are playing get 10 days, 9 days, 8 days of break during the season. Not your Cardinals. Every 7 days, man, you're playing. Like the old ways of doing it, Dale. Like the old ways of doing it. Here's my question for you that I was going to ask you when you came back here. Cardinals don't have they have 3 home games in their first 9 weeks. Is the NFL an easy place to play on the road?
No, it's not, but it's almost like they think they're still playing at ASU.
Well, with the heat of the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Well,
They get
the Seahawks on week 2 at home, but yeah. No, this is, what are you doing? Why are you backloading the schedule? Jaguars are getting screwed on this at their stadium. They're getting backlogged home games, but that's because their stadium's going under renovations and they asked for it.
Right.
So they asked for later home games, and then they're playing all the games over in London. They asked for it because of
stadium construction.
So the Jaguars are going to play weeks 4 through 16 for the Jaguars. They play just 3 home games at their home stadium in weeks 4 through 16. They asked for those 7 road games, 2 London games, and their byes in there as well. 3 games in their stadium. They at least asked for it.
Right.
The Cardinals did not ask for it. Maybe they did. Maybe the Cardinals were like, we make more money if our stadium does other things besides our garbage schedule.
Is AC/DC or some concert coming in?
Oh, no, they're not. They better be. They need to start scheduling them and everything like that. So, I mean, the Jaguars planned it that way. But that's the thing, man. It's not just that the schedule is hard. It's also what they did to them with the road games to start the season. If you want a team to have a chance to do well at the beginning of the season, you give them home games. That helps their improvements a little bit. But even then, the NFL went, not only Cardinals are we going to give you every hard team on the face of the planet, we're going to make you play most of them on the road while we're at it.
Well, the one thing is, the way the NFL does things, whether you like it or not, you have a first place schedule, second. This is the Cardinals' last place schedule.
This is how bad. I'm just going to say it's bad luck, but it's probably karma for the Cardinals. Their last place schedule includes the Lions, who finished in last place in that division last year, and they're a pretty good team. They're
better than they were last year.
They aren't. But even last year's team was pretty dang good. They just had some bad luck and injuries and stuff like that. The Lions are a team that should be pushing for the playoffs, and that's your last place schedule is you get the Lions. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
So they got the Jets, the Saints, the Raiders, and the Lions as their last place schedule.
And then you get the NFC East as your other thing. You don't get the NFC South there with Tampa and Carolina and Texans, which would be hard on its own. But you don't get the Colts. No, folks. You get the NFC East on top of it. Oh my God, this is just a nightmare schedule. When I did this thing and put 5 out, I knew it was optimistic, and then afterwards, I was like, I don't even know if I can get to 3 out.
See, I think the problem was, Steve, you probably did this shortly after you got off the phone with Earnhardt Chevrolet.
I had just gotten home,
and they had treated you like a king.
I was
and in a good mood.
No, but I mean the way I did it, like I said, know who you're going to before, who you're going to after. The Giants game worries me for a lot of reasons, but it also worries me because of who you play beforehand and afterhand.
Yeah,
you're going into that game. You could be going into that game kind of beat up. It's not that you're just going out there to play football. You're playing teams that dominate you physically. Not the Cardinals. They play a dominating physical style of football. That's your problem. that you're going into that
Well,
side
you go
of it.
Seahawks, 49ers back-to-back, and then the Chargers are no slough anyway.
They're going to be healthy to start the season on top of it and hugely physical. That's why the Giants game, I'm like, dear God, they might be worn out by the time the Giants get here.
Yee. And they have to go to New York.
And then look at the Seahawks, how easy their schedule is. I mean, they open up against the Patriots on Wednesday night, and then they come to Arizona 10 games later to play the lonely Cardinals.
Well, they need some rest. They get their rings and all that stuff, Steve.
It's just, this is, I had like a gleam of hope of, not that I expected him to win, but I'm like, at least I'll be able to watch Carson Beck play a lot. See what he can do, and Jeremiah Love. And then the NFL just went, oh, Arizona, is it hot there yet? Oh, you guys are miserable with how hot it is? Steve, your car isn't working right, and you're dealing with that? Here, let's give you your Cardinals schedule that you get to sit through this year. What? But even then, you can get excited about the Raiders. Is their quarterback even going to be? What do you hear about starting Carson Beck early? Well, rookies have a hard time making it through the whole season. Well, the Raiders are going to try it. This is a mess, Dale. This is a mess. There's no easy way to sugarcoat this. This is ridiculous. Usually you would put a backup quarterback in during the bye week, give him a couple weeks to get ready, things to that effect. You can't even do that. Then on top of it, I saw some people say, the Rams in week 6 is where I'd put him in at the Rams. Why are you going to start a rookie quarterback at the Rams?
At the Rams.
At the Rams.
Yeah.
What do you want him to succeed, or do you just want him not to? That's I hate you, and we don't want you here anymore type of a start, folks.
The only logical place to start him, if you're thinking logically, is December 20th at home against the Jets.
Yeah, if you do get it logically from that side. But that's not 4 games isn't enough to evaluate him. It's got to be week 4 against the Giants at New York. But again, at New York, tough schedule. So it's got to be that game. Maybe at the Cowboys. Maybe.
Why are you going to start him on the road?
What home game do you want him to start at? Seahawks, Lions, Broncos, or Rams?
Jets.
Yeah, exactly. You're going that far down. If you want him to start at home, folks, the NFL didn't give you a chance to start him at home with 3 home games to start the season.
See, here's the thing. I think everybody thinks that the NFL put a lot of thought into this, and let's screw the. I don't think the NFL gave one hoot.
I don't know though. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't do it on purpose. They just did it because they don't care. They're just like, just put it out. We don't care.
Yeah. What are they gonna do about it?
Yeah. He said, what are they gonna do? Complain? Here's the other side of it. Primetime games. The Rams have 7 primetime games, the most of everybody out there.
That's interesting.
I find that fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know why you think the defending Super Bowl champions would be it.
You would think, but they're second with 6.
Yeah.
Them, Green Bay, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Seattle. Do the Rams have that big
did you say Cowboys?
No, they're not. They're not there yet.
Cowboys have 6.
No, they have 5. Primetime games are night games, not standalone day games.
Oh.
Thanksgiving doesn't count for a primetime game.
That's pretty much prime time.
I know, but technically.
Technically. Trying to screw my Cowboys.
Cowboys are games at night is what it does. The standalone night games. That's why the Thanksgiving games don't count on that. But yeah, Dallas, Philly, Chicago, New England, and San Francisco in 5 spot there. 4, Minnesota, Giants, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Detroit, Houston, and Washington with 4. Like, why is Washington, other than their market, why do they have?
Well, they're thinking Jay Daniels will come back healthy, and they'll be at least vying for a playoff spot.
Jacksonville has 3. Denver only has 3. Why does Cincinnati have any, let alone 3?
Joey Burrow.
They're awful, though. Carolina, up and coming, I guess, right? Then you got the Chargers and Tampa Bay there with 3. Indianapolis has 2. I'm going to argue why on that, Dale. New Orleans and Cleveland have 1. Anybody want to tell me why they have 1? Who's clamoring for a New Orleans and Cleveland primetime game to see them?
Probably 3 more people that are clamoring for a Cardinals.
Jets, Tennessee, Miami, Las Vegas, Arizona. The one that surprises me, I don't have 0. The one that surprises me the most is Las Vegas.
Yes.
How do you not have the young rookie early in this, like week 3 or week 4 in a primetime game? That shocks me. Because he's the number 1 pick, highly, all that stuff. I'm shocked by that.
And I would be surprised if the Raiders don't win 6-7 games this year.
Did they improve their offensive line? Oh, they got that new center from Baltimore.
Yeah.
But they did. Did they improve their overall? Because their problem last year was that offensive line was terrible. One guy doesn't make it a better line, right?
Well,
right, Cardinals fans? Here's the other side of it, right? We talk about the Cardinals and Dallas, both week 14 bye weeks. Just absolutely screwed. But then Baltimore, Jets, Indianapolis, and Las Vegas, they're week 13. Nobody has an off week in week 12. Nobody. No buys in week 12.
Well, week 12 is that Thanksgiving week.
That's
isn't
the
it?
problem, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need everybody to play that week because Sunday, otherwise you'd have no Sunday games, right?
Because now you have 3 on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You have 1 on, Black Friday?
Wednesday night, 3 on Thursday, and then a Friday game. Yeah, and then Sunday. Week 11, though, Seattle. So not like Seattle Rams are week 11. Then you got Atlanta, New England, Cleveland, Green Bay, week 11. They're not being helped with a week 11 bye either. Then 10 is Chicago, Denver, Philly, Tampa Bay. But I'm going to skip up here. Week 5, Kansas City and Carolina, week 5.
That's early.
Seems early. Now, Kansas City's doing a lot of traveling to start the season, though, so maybe that's why they wanted it early. Get that jet lag out of their system or whatever that they need to deal with on that. But every bye week should be between week 6 or 7 and week 10, 11. That should be the bye week, unless you go 2. Then you can have 1 early and 1 late. It's ridiculous. What's the NFL doing? What are we doing here? Screwing my Cardinals like that, Dale. So we're going to be lucky to have 3 wins in this season. Here's the other side. You're looking at the Jets as a win. You don't know what the Cardinals are going to be at that point.
No,
they could be 0-13 going to the bye week, and then they got to play the Jets after a bye week. Is anybody going to be enthusiastic to play that game? No. Here's the other side of it. Seahawks could probably sell your season tickets for a good price to Seahawks fans for that game. Lions, a lot of Detroit fans here, folks, that will come in for that game also from surrounding cities. So 2 games where you'll probably get a good dollar amount. Broncos, a lot of Bronco fans will be here. But sell your tickets early, folks, is what I'm getting at. Nobody's going to be buying tickets for the Jets or Raiders. Well, Raiders will, but not in the higher amounts as you think. Nobody's going to Las Vegas. Well, it might be cheaper to come here and watch the Raiders than it is in Las Vegas, too. That is true. So maybe you'll get something in that. But that Jets game, you're not going to be able to give them away. So prepare yourself, season ticket holders. Your value is not going to be there again this year. So there you go, Dale. NFL schedule.
How many more years you got on your contract?
This is my last one.
Then you're already up for what, 3 or 5?
It gives you the option of 3 or 5.
No, you'll probably do 5 this time.
I'm going to go down from 4 to 2 though in that section. If I do that section, I'll just move back down to the lower level again. That way I can get moved for premium seats sometime the next year or 2. This is I get comfortable down there.
You don't like to be with the unwashed, Steve. What are you talking about? Riff-raff? You don't want to deal with the riff-raff.
I don't even want to think about that. This is just a depressing season, man. They'll just make it worse now on top of it as we're dealing with that as well. So let's take our break here. Come on back. Get you updated on NHL. We'll finish up with the Major League Baseball. Get you set up for the weekend as well. I'm so depressed.
13 games against the Rockies and the Giants. Time to make hay, Steven.
Back and forth. Today's the day you're going to want to pay attention to the Diamondbacks. Do they have, after a day off, a hangover from that last
No hangover
the other day? So come on back. We'll talk about it. We're back here. Main events, really quick. Interesting enough here. Earlier I told you Scotty Scheffler was +2 on the day. What's he at now, Dale?
Right now, the leaderboard leading is Hideki Matsuyama, -3 today.
He's made
finished.
a run then.
Yeah, he's finished, -3. Pot Geider, he's -3. Jaeger has not teed off yet, -3. And Minwoo Lee has not. Scotty Scheffler, -2. He's +1 today through 13.
Okay, so he's coming back. He gained a skill. The only reason I'm asking is outright betting for the winner of the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler is +310 to win the tournament. He's not playing well.
There's something a little off about him.
By the way, the next person, Xander Schauffele, who did play well yesterday. He's +750. So there's a big gap between the two.
Well, right now, Schauffele has not teed off today. He's sitting there at -2.
He played well yesterday. It was one of the 32 below the par.
Yep.
Minwoo Lee is next up, +1200. So there's a huge odds difference here. I think Scheffler at +310, the way he's playing, I wouldn't take that to save my life.
Right. The cut line right now is at +2.
Okay, so
+2. I saw Rory McIlroy's below.
He was
cut line.
+4. I don't think he's teed off yet. He was +4 yesterday. He struggled. John Rahm struggled yesterday.
Yeah, Rory McIlroy +4 is not teed off today. So some big names below that cut line.
No, we have the potential. The rain supposedly is done for the weekend, but they say the wind is not going to go away, and the wind was the biggest problem yesterday for these guys, and then just how fast those greens were yesterday. I told it earlier. I don't remember who I was watching. It all goes in my vlogging in my mind, but somebody barely tapped. They're on one edge of the green, and they barely touched the ball. Barely touched it. And that thing just slow rolled the whole way of the green and went down the other side into either it was a bunker or water. I think it was a bunker. I mean, it took 20 minutes for that ball to travel this green, and he barely touched it.
Crazy.
It was just like, what is happening?
Well, the rust's pretty thick. And
it's all wet.
And all that. So.
Somebody was saying that after the round last night. When they get into that, they come out and their shoes and socks are all wet from the rain and all that. So, like, when you swing into wet grass, if you've ever been in wet grass, it's a little bit more grabby than dry grass can be and stuff. So, so they're struggling out there. But there you go with your updated odds, +310 for Scheffler.
How about our guy Max Homa? He was the last guy in the field, friend of the family.
Yep, because is he going to send your
Phil Mickelson?
Yeah, Phil Mickelson retired from this tournament. Didn't do it. Is Max Homa in the middle of the round going to send a congrats to Scotty and Hillary when?
Well, guess what? He's done, and he probably shouldn't have even showed up.
Yeah, it was ugly.
+12.
I wasn't even going to bring it up, but since you brought it up,
+12.
Well, good. Then he doesn't have to interrupt his round to send the congratulations.
He could get home. He could get home to meet new baby Avery today.
Yeah, you go to the hospital later, and you're like, "What are you doing here, Max?"
I will tell you, this was kind of cool. Graham's 3rd birthday, when Max was living full time out here. He missed the cut on a Friday. Mm-hmm. Graham's birthday was on a Saturday, and him and his wife and kid showed up for Graham's birthday.
He was also the guy that would just show up over at Papago on a Saturday and just be like, "Can I play with you guys?"
Yeah.
Or the skins tournament. He'd just show up and be like, "I'll play in the skins tournament with you guys."
Right.
He's very down to earth, and that was in the height of his golf.
When he was really
going.
good
then as well. Yeah. So throw up the NHL playoff bracket for me, if you will, Kobe. We'll get through this really fast here as well. Colorado sitting at home. Well, they're not sitting at home much longer because the Knights ended up winning that game against Anaheim. This is an interesting thing happening with the Knights going into this Colorado City, and I'll fill you in on this, Dan. I want to know your thoughts on this. So they win the game last night. Knights have never lost a game where they had multi-goal leads there in the first period. In the playoffs, or something like 12-0 in that scenario. Played out last night. They beat the Ducks. Now you got Colorado and Vegas Knights. I think Colorado's winning this series, but their head coach of the Vegas Knights, they get him 9 games till the end of the season, Dale. Last night, Kobe, you can take it down real quick. We'll put it back up here when we talk about that. Last night, he refused to meet with the media after the game. He only had 2 players go and talk to the media after a series-clinching win. And those 2 players go to the press conference and they go, we have 10 minutes. The bus leaves in 10 minutes, and he will leave us here. Like Tortorella, the coach there, came in 9 games, got this team whipped into shape for the playoff run, and they're playing well with him. He's now pulling these types of stunts with Colorado coming up. Is this good or is this bad? I can't figure it out. Obviously, the media hates it.
And obviously Tortorella, from what I know about him, what I've heard about him, he doesn't give media on the bottom of his shoe along with dog poop.
Yeah, if he walked in here right now, he'd literally throw something at us and walk out. Yeah, I mean, he's that type of guy. But forget about the media side of it.
They responded.
He's got these players going, guys, we got 10 minutes and we got to go. He will leave us here.
You know what's fascinating is I was just reading an article during the break. Completely opposite of Doc Rivers in Milwaukee, where Giannis.
I talked about that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Well, I talked about it more just on the aspect of the NBA. They're afraid of their players, man.
A plane would leave an hour late
because
Giannis would show up an hour late to a plane,
and he wouldn't even call him.
I mean,
it's just like Giannis isn't here, so we're not leaving yet. And Doc Rivers did nothing about it.
Michael Irvin, we took off from a hangar. We had a private parking area. Michael Irvin was 1 minute late. Yeah. Jimmy said, pull up the stairs, let's go. As Michael was getting out of his car.
He's walking up to it. The plane's off.
Takes off.
You have to just get your own ride at that point?
Yeah, he had to get his own flight in. And
it's just, I don't get it at all. Which is an interesting dynamic that you brought that up again. The NBA is like, we'll pay you hundreds of millions of dollars to not play and not show up and not care, not hold us to standards,
not hold you accountable.
We'll pay you hundreds of million dollars. And then in hockey, these guys are integral parts of this team, of the Knights team. And the coach is like, we're leaving in 10 with or without you. So they literally walked into the press conference and go, we have 10 minutes. They literally said it. He will leave us. So we have 10 minutes. So the media is just like, the first question was, hey, within this 10 minutes, tell us about this. It was pretty funny.
Well, and again, to me, there's holding players accountable, and then there's being a douche. And
well, that's what I want to get at you. Because to me, that's a douchey move.
Yes.
Especially after a series clinching win.
Yes. Now, if they would have lost that game, it's going to a game 7.
But that's why I want to ask you, because you have that player's perspective on it. To me, it's kind of him being a jerk, and this is why he has a limited shelf life on teams, is it works for a little bit and doesn't. But I also can't figure out, he came in 9 games to go. The team is bought in. You have one of the, if not the best team in the league, definitely number 2 or 1A coming up this week. But isn't it also working because he's early in his career? He's sending the message, that press conference doesn't matter that we won this tournament, guys. We have Colorado up next. Yeah. That's our focus starting now. It's not sleep on this, enjoy this tonight. It's we got Colorado, folks. This is where we're going towards. We don't care about anything else. I can't figure out which way I like it, which way is I like it or not. Now, if this was year 3 of him and he was doing this, I think it would be worn thin.
Well, what I've always said about coaching is when you come in, if you are a stickler, if you're a drill sergeant, if you hold people super accountable, it's always easier to let your foot off the gas
give it some leeway.
Then come in, be loosey-goosey, and then try to rein them back in. But everybody that I've talked to, whether it's you or Lou or Nash or whatever, they said this guy has a shelf life that's very short.
It's very short.
Very successful.
Couple years.
But you can only stand it for so long.
And it's working right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just torn on this, where I'm just like, man, let them get out there and talk and be happy that they won this series. And he's like, nope, we're moving on at this point. I do like it. I do like it that he's doing that because it's focused on this tough matchup we have coming up more so than it is anything else. But it is fascinating.
They don't play till Wednesday. They don't play till Wednesday.
Is that right?
Yeah. Buffalo, Montreal tomorrow.
I thought they play on. Yeah, you're right. The 20th. You're right.
Yeah. Buffalo, Montreal tomorrow.
They have to start the conference series at the same time because they don't want somebody sitting at home for a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But that's where I'm like, all right, you're kind of being a jerk right now, and that's going to rub the players wrong.
Right.
But he's only been there for 9 games in the playoffs, 9 regular season. So maybe these players are like, this is what we needed. We needed this kick in the butt.
Yeah.
And we're going to do everything he says because we made it to this point. I'm just fascinated by it. Last night, though, a goal happened, Dale. You got to check this out for Vegas last night. Vegas goal, Kobe. Show us this. Between the legs goal to put the Knights up early.
Anaheim attempting to keep it deep, broken up by William Karlsson. He springs a man, Mitch Marner, who's in, and he stuffs it home. Mitchell Marner.
That's awesome. Turns around, gets turned around. He's like, that's all right. I'm going to put it between my legs.
Do you ever see anything in real time on TV in hockey, or do you have to wait for the replay?
No, I saw that when it happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't see it? Did you look at the big TV? I have a big TV for that. I have a big TV at my all the TVs are big because of hockey. So I can see the puck.
No, it's because you got a lot of money. Who are you kidding?
TVs are cheap.
You got big TVs that's laying in rooms that you don't even use.
You want to see it again? Show it again, Kobe, because Dale wasn't able to catch it.
No.
Let's see here. Is that TV out of your view there? He gets spun around, Dale. Doesn't matter. Puts it through his legs. Boop. Love it. There's actually better angles out there. That's just the one I chose.
Well, I noticed that almost all the TVs in here are faced so you can see everything.
I can see myself.
Yeah.
It's not to see those clips.
It's a lot of Steve. It's
to see me on that as well. Just to wrap up hockey, just really quick here, is I know Dale's itching on his phone there. So both Colorado and Knights are the last 2 teams in the West to put up the Stanley Cup here, so they're battling it out. Obviously, East teams won the last couple of years as well. Canadians, throw that bracket back up, Kobe, for me. The Canadians came back to beat the Sabres last night 6-3. I do think this is Montreal's series to win, Dale, and I do think Montreal is going to give Carolina a little bit of a fight in this next round. That's going to be fun to watch, but can Buffalo, they play tomorrow night, I do believe, for their next game. Can Buffalo even that up and get to a Game 7? That's a fun series here, folks, to watch. So pay attention to that coming up as well. Montreal, by the way, 30th comeback win of the season for them. One shy of their franchise record. The only times they've had more comebacks, they won the Stanley Cup. 75-76 and 92-93. Montreal might be a team of destiny now. They're going up against Carolina, it's not the best team, 1A best team here in the NHL. But man, numbers are on their side, Dale. Coming up for Montreal is that Game 6 coming up for them tomorrow night. Diamondbacks, Colorado this weekend. Merrill Kelly pitches tonight, Dale.
Yep.
So how long now is C-section? So the baby's going to stay in the hospital for how long? When
they're planning everything going smooth coming home on Sunday.
Sunday night, okay. So yeah, so you're just sitting around with the grandkids tonight, pop in Merrill Kelly and see how the Diamondbacks do. Is this a hangover game tonight after that awful loss the other night?
They drank that out of their system the other night.
Flush, as Tori says, they flushed it.
Flush.
We all went in the restrooms and flushed it at the same time. Merrill Kelly tonight against Spencer Strider.
Colorado and Giants and Colorado.
I'm like, Spencer Strider plays for Atlanta, Steve.
13 games in a row against those 2 teams.
Kyle Freeland tonight as well. Just to set you up on Saturday, 12:10 at first pitch tomorrow with Erod on the mound against Sugano for Colorado. So the day game coming up on Saturday with Erod. Tonight's the night I'm worried about the pitcher more than Erod and Sirocco on Sunday. I'm not saying that Merrill Kelly is going to do bad, but this is the game tonight where you're kind of like, ooh, and then you got the hangover factor with the team, the batters. Coors Field's a hitter park. You better not only score 1 run at Coors Field, folks.
This might be the weekend that the bats open up, Steven.
Bats wake that they should. And there's no other way to say it, Dale. You've got to have a good game. That was my big question on the Diamondbacks. Is there any danger of a whole? Pay attention to this. Is there any danger of a hangover after what happened the other day? It's something to just watch. It's a Tory team. It's something literally put out there. Dale, I want to leave you with this. Colorado football coach Deion Sanders, who nobody's paying attention to anymore because his team's not good now.
Your guy.
But he said Shedeur Sanders went through hell, was his phrase, during a turbulent pre-draft process and rookie season with the Cleveland Browns. And the reason why he went through hell, Dale, not because he was drafted by the Browns way later than supposed to, got started games and everything, made it to the Pro Bowl last year, folks. Why was Shedeur Sanders, why did he go through hell according to Dion, Dale? Do you think it was because he slid in the draft? Do you think it was because he went to Cleveland? And then when he started, the media was kind of like, why is he starting?
This is Dion saying
Dion's
that.
talking about this. Yeah, so why does Dion think Shedeur went through hell?
Because people are jealous of Dion.
Yeah, untruthful reporting was going on about him. The rumors and the untruthful in the reporting side made Shedeur go through hell in the pre-draft process. Oh, my God, how could he survive? Here's my problem with this. You're the reason he went through it, Dion, with your nonsense and the pre-draft stuff and everything.
Dion's always very good at not taking very much accountability.
Yeah, you put your kid through that. You could have shut up, not done the draft party, and not done all this other stuff. You could have refused the cameras being there. You could have stopped saying I was going to be the number one draft pick and he's the best coach. You could have stopped saying all of that stuff, Dion. And you choose to hype it up, and that's what he says. Dion's exact quote, Dale, and this is actually amazing. Quote, when he takes off his shirt, I see the scars on his back that he's been through hell, but he's made it through hell. Yeah.
The scars on his back.
Because of untruthful reporting. Are you kidding me right now? I can't wait.
But weren't you one of the guys who wanted him here at ASU?
Okay. We don't need to relive it. But I said if you want to name and to sell tickets, you get Dion here, is what I said. I didn't necessarily want him as the coach because he was going to be good. He's showing that in Colorado. Folks, he's not very good. He gets those blips, and that's it. Imagine the ticket sales and everything ASU would have done if they would have brought him in. You weren't going to win very much, but imagine the ticket sales you would have had for 2 years.
You wouldn't have cared how you got in and out of the stadium.
So guys, be gentle with Shedeur. He's had a rough life of untruths being told in the media about him. When he's in his Bentley or whatever, and his giant watch.
Speeding 110 miles an hour.
And his brother in $11 million in debt. How do you get in $11 million in debt as a 20-year-old? That's what I want to know. How does that even happen?
I would not be surprised, Stephen, if over the next 5 years or so we hear more and more stories like that. I got an NIL deal. I'm getting $500,000. I'm getting $750,000. I'm going to borrow against this.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that.
Because a lot of times you get the Carson stuff for free.
Not Bentleys.
There wasn't a dealership in Colorado he didn't have a Bentley. He had some other car. There wasn't a car there. There wasn't a dealer there that was like, hey, you drive around in my car.
Yeah, Ford Passat.
Getting stuck in the snow.
I'm not going to be driving in a Passat.
Getting stuck in the snow in that deal. But there you go, folks. That's my thought for you today is just think of the hardness on the players that command your attention at all times. Just remember they're people too when they want your attention. And we got to think about that.
The only thing I take away from this show is that Steve went in yesterday wanting to fight, hoping for a fight,
didn't get one.
Looking for a fight, and still tried to start a fight, and he couldn't.
No, couldn't do it, man. Maybe today. Maybe today when I drop it off.
I don't want that car.
Yeah, watch. You're joking about a Passat. What is the smallest car that I'm going to get today, Dale?
All of a sudden, some red Pinto comes around the corner, backfiring.
My knees are up here by my ears as I'm driving down the road. What's the smallest car that I'm going to get in today?
You have to tweet that out. You have to tweet that out.
I'm going to be like, dude, take a picture of me in this car.
Yeah.
My knees are. He's like, why? And I'm like, just do it. Just trust me. Yeah, what's the smallest car I'm going to get today, folks, where I can't get? Luckily, I don't have anything going on this weekend. Rattlers are in that IFL Cup. They don't play till Monday morning at 9. So I got nothing. So worst case, that the car's just going to sit at home and all of that stuff, Dale. But obviously, you haven't heard anything yet, huh?
No, nothing yet.
Yeah, well, tell them to hurry up. Maybe Avery doesn't want to come into this role. She's like, Iran war. I'm not coming out for that.
Steve said the economy's not very good.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I saw the market today. It's not very good. I'm not coming out. So the market's better. Watch some NBA basketball tonight. Try to figure out who the home team is with that stat we gave you earlier as well. Dale, at least we're not the Cardinals because they are being pretty much told we don't want you to leave. And if you're going to be here, we're just going to.
Well, the one thing is, I've always told you, when I was in Dallas, the one thing we looked at, were we playing in December?
Yep.
They do, so they.
All home games, except for New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's indoors.
Yeah. New Orleans doesn't. It gets snow from time to time.
No, but it's indoors. So, I mean, they're home.
Yeah, favorable end of the year schedule when you're 0-13.
The only cold weather possibility, Kansas City, November 22nd.
Yeah, but New York gets hot, man. Giants, I like it.
No, I'm saying,
Yankees.
I said Kansas City.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the Heat. I'm talking about more on the Heat side.
Who cares about the Heat?
New York Giants. Ooh. Niners, you got to go up there next to the power plant.
No, that's a fact, facility, not the stadium.
We'll see you Monday morning, folks. Dale, good luck with the baby, and tell her I'll be more than happy to teach you this first week. Let Avery know I'm available.
$20, 3 years, 3 days old.
See you on Monday, everybody. Have a good